Pound US dollar is at 125. Is this time to short the market, or is price going to move higher? Pound US dollar is at 125, a crucial level on the daily and the 4-hour time frame. So let's go take a look at this market and see what you should be doing next. As you can see, we're on the pound US dollar H4 time frame at the moment, and what I've got highlighted on this chart is the 125 level. If I just go up to a daily time frame here, we can see that this was the previous daily high that formed back on the 14th of November. So we're looking to see, are sellers going to come back into this market, and if not, where could price go to next? What I like about this market in particular is the fact that it's also a bit of a volume level as well. If you look at this high here down to this low, you can see that there's been a moment where the market paused before continuing to push to the downside here. This zone here means that there'll be a high percentage of volume going on at that point, and we know that sellers were active at this area because we had a strong move away from that point. So around this 125 level could start to see a little bit of action from the market for a bit of a move to the downside here. Now what I do want to do is just highlight the high of that zone, okay, because the reason why I'm doing that is because price could push above 125 before continuing to the downside. Now if I go to the 4-hour time frame and zoom out, we can kind of refine this area a little bit, okay? So I can actually bring it up to this point. Now this area in particular, if I was just to pop a label on that, is around about the 1.2540. Now the reason why I quite like this area is because it was that high before price continued to push to the downside. One other factor we might have to take into consideration is where the US dollar index is at the moment. If I just jump over to the US dollar index, we're approaching a big level of support. It was the 103. That 103 area was where we found support back in August of this year, and price obviously rallied all the way up to the 107 at that point, and we're starting to come towards that 103. Now we might not get there, because if you look at this 4-hour time frame, you can see here from this low back on the 1st of September, price actually had quite an aggressive bullish move from that level. So you can see we started to get buyers involved, we had a little pullback, then aggressive buying took place, and price obviously then continued to push to that 107. So we are coming into a little bit of a support level here right now. So the dollar might get a short-term bounce from this level, perhaps back into the recent swing lows around about that 104 level. If we breach this 103 sort of 50 area, then price is going to head towards that 103 handle. So we've got to be aware that the dollar is still vulnerable at the moment. It's still a weak currency, it's still pushing to the downside. If, however, it does start to find support around this level, cable might also find resistance, and we might start to see price push to the downside. So 1.2540 going to be very important. If we have a little look at those demand zones, we can see around about this 1.24 area is where price found demand most recently. So if I was just to pop a label on here, it's around about that 1.2386 and that zone down towards that 1.24. So what I'm going to be looking for in and around this level is signs of weakness to come into the market, because we're at a point where price could turn. Obviously we don't have a mystic ball, we don't know if it is or not, but what we can do is just add confluences to this market. I can see that already today we've had aggressive selling coming into here, and the move back to the upside has been rather slow. It's been rather laboured. So what we may actually see is a rejection here and a move back down towards the area where price recently found support at that 124. Now if price breaches higher, then it's going to be looking at that 123.40 area, which we pointed out previously. So keep an eye on cable here. It could start to find a little bit of selling pressure as it does start to approach all of these resistance levels, including this 1.2540. So keep an eye on that. Hope you enjoyed the video update. If you did, please leave it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're new. Cheers.